Oh, hey, look, you decided to show up.
All right. This episode's super scuffed, so we're just gonna get that right out of the way and apologize for that. I'm blaming Audacity, Quinn's blaming Audacity. We're just gonna deal with it. We'll fix that by next episode. In the meantime, enjoy.
Warning, this podcast has some swears in it.
I'd rate it PG-13 at most, but let's just be on the safe side and say viewer discretion is advised. So Quinn, you better hit that record too.
Alright, yeah, all this shit's getting recorded. Sick.
Yes, including you say anything absolutely horrendous, and it may or may not be used against you in the court of law.
Oh no! I have to think about the consequences of my actions. Oh no!
Oh no! On the podcast that you didn't expect. Time to raise your blades, heroes.
And check some vibes.
It's the Heroes Blade Vibe Check.
What the fuck is up, gamers? Welcome back to Boast Faves, the #1 podcast where we post about Boast.
Sorry, what the fuck is this?
The like limitedly supported mechanic from Kaldheim, Boast, that just got a new
yes, of course. I totally forgot about that one-off mechanic that will maybe or maybe come back. I don't know.
What? Hold on.
Can we go back to the Gargoyles podcast? I want back on that.
Yeah, what the fuck is up, Bostonian women monstrosities? Thanks so much for tuning into Actually They're Grotesques, the #1 podcast for the animated series Gargoyles.
All right, we're back on that. We're back in that life. This is what we want.
Great.
Alright, for real this time, for real. Thanks so much for tuning in, gamers. We're back at it again with the Heroes Blade Vibe Check podcast. I'm your host, Empress Quinn. I've got the homie Cole in the studio with me, so it's up, Cole.
What's up? Capcom has not released another Mega Man game, and I am disappointed.
Well, that is disappointing to know. We also have homegirl Looter Scooter in the studio with us. Looter, say what's up.
What the fuck is up? Am I allowed
There
to
we
swear
go. Yes, yeah.
Okay, great.
Unhinged energy and swearing. That's what we're here to do.
I guess I should have asked that at the pre-show.
You know what? I'm gonna start including that in like whatever pre-copy and paste spiel I'm gonna start sending to guests.
Yeah.
So like, let's just be a little candid. Obviously, Ludi, this has been several months in the making. Like literally, I'm like, okay, it's time to start inviting future guests. Checks notes. All right, Ludi, you are in 2 months. You're like, cool, all right. And then I'm like, Light, I know you want to come on. Shout out to Light, the Phyrexian. I'm like, Light,
woo, love Light.
Check you in like 4.5 months. Or whatever. And then
listen, we're gonna
get there. And then Andy Flowery is like, "Can I come on?" I'm like, "Absolutely. Check you in a half year. See you soon." You know, like
yeah.
It's a little exaggerated, but honestly, that's just what this life is like. So, timeline aside, and however long it took you to get on here, we're finally here. Thank you for joining.
Thank you for having me. I'm stoked for this.
Are we ready for 2.5 hours of all your Breya decks?
Yes.
Yeah, babes, lock the fuck in. We've got a lot of show to get through today.
Let me tell you, there's only one person that can exceed my power and energy about Adric Blood Cursed, and that is Ludi, and it's only about Breya and the numerous different decks of Breya.
Yup.
100%.
Oh my god. Okay, now, that will all come eventually, and we'll see what happens. But first of all, we'll get the pre-show stuff out of the way. You can, typically, I'm asking questions over on Spotify, so if you're a lucky Spotify listener, you can answer our lovely question of the episode, of which I totally should always start copying and pasting these here. And I also think that The setting is also busted on Podcasters for Spotify, so I'm pretty sure I said something along the lines of any cool stuff in Assassin's Creed that you are excited about, of which we got 2 this week.
Yeah. I've got a comment here from Draco Lucian. It says, Battlefield improvisation is going to be a fun new combat trick for Voltron with Light, moving any number of equipment to an attacking creature and boosting the power and toughness +2. Yep, seems sweet.
It's subtle.
We saw the inventory management from the other set.
Yep.
Any of those, like, instance...
No, it's not just any other set, Quinn. You have to be... It's Universes Beyond Fallout. Okay.
Yeah, that one, the other set.
You know, the one that just came and went like a ghost in the night, you know?
I think you'll find it's been a little bit longer than that. Yeah.
Yes.
Fallout.
I think they also put... I don't know, they've been doing a lot of really cool 1 or 2 mana instant speed tricks in Boros that's like, hey, you want to get in on this action? Your creature's about to die, or you want a surprise unfavorable block? Let's just rearrange everything and redistribute it, or just lock it in on one creature and then just go for it. And
just to ruin all of your combat math. Like all of my Cranioplating gamers, if you're playing Boros equipment, take a look at those. It's the same sort of like, gotcha.
Yeah.
Yup. Gotta love it. But yeah, neat design, simple, elegant, to the point, and especially with even the number of equipment in Assassin's Creed, very useful. You can't draft this stuff. I don't know how you would do that, but you want to throw on Excalibur, you know, just casual Excalibur on something else. That's how you do it.
Yeah.
And then Claire is back for another comment this week. Ivor Battle Ready. With any card with the phrase that says, to deal damage to each opponent will always be something I focus on, especially with a rando Bloodforged Battle Axe in my collection. Also, a good Hero's Blade carrier.
And you're so right, Claire.
True.
That's a perfect deck for just stockpiling piles of Bloodforged Battle Axe. It's just like, okay, go ahead and block this. I don't even care about that. You're gonna dead to burn damage anyway. That's what's killing you.
Block this overhead. Oh wait, no, you can't die. And Benoit's pointed out that because of the templating, it's just any equipment you got, doesn't matter. Unequipped, equipped, you're good to go. Also is in that silly intro deck and not part of the main set, and I'm very upset that you can't just open it in a random pack. But
what can you do?
I'll get her eventually. Good.
I'm sure she'll show up either at the LGS or at a shop where you can buy the posters or whatever.
I'm eyeballing it as hard as I possibly can. Ludi, obviously, hashtag Breya posting.
Hashtag Breya posting.
Anything in particular that stuck out of... If you've had the time to sit down and really absorb it and be narrow the scope, get rid of all green, no one cares about that. What do you got? Anything in particular?
I posted my Breya set review on Twitter a few days ago, and the card I'm most excited for is Yggdrasil Rebirth Engine.
Yeah!
I am, so unreasonably stoked for my Reanimator deck, because it's a thing that lets me cheat creatures into play, but kind of dodges graveyard hate because I could just exile them from the top of my deck. And
I'm a big fan of Yggdrasil. I've been playing a lot of that in the deck that I've been one-track monding lately. Mm-hmm. And it's a funky little Reanimator card, and I like the way that it does weird card advantage.
Yes. I also find it really interesting that with the focus of the memory counters on some of the more important cards of the set, that didn't, but I think it's also because it lore time, I don't know, it actually physically reanimates people.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. It's probably just a lore reason that they work mechanically differently.
But also, hey, woo, I did open... Oh, don't blur on me. Show the friends of the podcast. Yeah, I gotta get yourself. I opened a box,
nice.
which I'll talk about later. It was very fun.
Oh yeah. Looking forward to hearing about it.
But yeah, a lot of really just neat cards this set.
They are neat cards. That's
I've been pressing my face against the glass case with Assassin's Creed singles in it, and just, man, I really want them soon.
Soon. Yeah. Do you want 20 Animuses?
I want maybe like one Animus for my deck that plays the Animus, and then I don't know if I'm gonna play that in other decks.
No, it has to be hyper specific. This one. Also, hey, obligatory can open. There we go.
Oh yeah, dude.
That'll be great for the audio.
Yeah.
I've started to put in rando clips of other media on top of just we gotta get the can effect in there. At what eventually we're gonna run out of cans, and at one point I'm gonna open like 2 cans for a bit, and we're all just gonna like take psychic damage from me opening 2 cans. Can I consume all this sugar in one sitting? Probably. Just ain't gonna be good for me.
Should you though?
You're gone too hard.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
My heart's like, please stop. All right. But yeah, not a whole lot in terms of reactions to last episode's question. No big deal. The last few episodes have just been bangers in terms of like community chats and stuff. But we did get tipped off to an article, which I'll talk about later. Oh wait, it's right now.
Oh, all right.
Well, no, I'm kidding. No, wait, I'm skipping and stuff here. We gotta go to vibe checks. We gotta go to our vibe checks.
All right. That sounds good. Yeah, let's talk about those. I'm assuming direct control. I am going to talk about Olivia, Opulent Outlaw. She passes the vibe check. Girl is a legendary creature vampire assassin for 1 and red, white, black. She's a 3/3 with flying and lifelink. Whenever 1 or more outlaws you control deal combat damage to a player, create a treasure token. And you can pay 3 and sacrifice 2 treasures, put 2+1/+1 counters on each creature you control, activate only as a sorcery. The flying and lifelink already just like, I don't care what your stats are, I'll put a hero's blade on you if you're legendary. But and this one in particularly, already being a 3/3, like that's a pretty sizable number. I like to see that go up. And I'm just gonna I'm getting in there for combat damage, I'm making treasure, and the game's moving forward in a way that I find agreeable.
Yeah, I've been playing with someone who bought the deck to make his Mardu Outlaws deck because he got tired of Prosper. And I'm like,
sure,
okay, this is a bit of a leap, you know.
Absolutely.
And then he's like, but you know, we can't forget that Prosper's still in there. I'm like, okay, I mean, yeah, he's a warlock, so he makes the
He is a warlock, yeah.
Okay, sure, you can have that one.
But I just find it very funny is that, like, in my assessment, you have a very conditional professional facebreaker with potential upside of distributing +1 counters across your board state, which is pretty huge. And then he's like, yeah, she kind of sucks. I'm like, get out of this LGS right now. I'm so... the Quinn's look...
Bro, what? Olivia sucks?
No, those are just underwhelmed. And I'm like... Can we uptick it to just being whelmed? Like, can we just, like, have a normal reaction to this? I think she's pretty cool. I don't know if, like, I love my Mardu. I don't know if I'm going to opt in on her exactly, because the whole focus on rogues and warlocks and all this other stuff. Maybe another time.
I like the batching of creature types of outlaw and putting that under a commander. I think that's pretty cool and useful. It gives you a place to play all of these cards that maybe don't have their own commander yet, like specifically for that creature type. Like, who's our warlock lord? We don't have one yet.
No.
So,
Not
just like for the meantime, I think it's cool to have a place to put all of these cards.
This is where we could put Devash.
He's a warlock.
He's a warlock, I'm pretty sure, yeah.
A lot of the warlocks surprisingly synergize with lifelink. I was wondering why Olivia had lifelink, and it's because a lot of them want you to be gaining life. Like
to pay, like Devash.
Witch Coven, and Devash, and Marshland Bloodcaster. Like, all of these guys are just like, gain life and pay life, and all of these things we're satisfied with that. So I was like, alright, cool. I'll sign off on it.
Yeah.
It works. It just brings, like, I would rather take, when we're looking at commander sets and even just supplemental sets that aren't commander-based. Modern Horizons 3, you know.
Well, that has commander decks to it.
Yeah, so because for reasons I don't know, but like on the one hand,
we can actually talk about why if you really care.
No, we know why. We don't have to talk about it. We don't need to beat the freaking.
Okay, because there's literally valid reasons.
I don't listen. I don't want to beat people over the head with the pool noodle that is WotC loves Commander like we love Commander, and they know we love Commander, so they're like, "Hey, yo, do you want your energy Commander deck?" And Target Empress Quinn is like, "Yes, right here. Hello."
I did actually order the Energy Commander deck, and instead I got the Tricky Terrain Precon, so we've been playing a bit of that.
And the point I'm trying to get to here, and Omo is a good example of, like, let's take a set mechanic or a theme and do either a weird thing via Omo, which feels very unique for Simic, or at least so not as done as the cast stuff at instant speed, put extra lands to play and draw cards, blah blah blah. We could just like, cool, that thing and that thing have everything counters, and now you can do weird Locust, Urza.
Yeah, it's literally just like every land stack that's existed in this format. You can play all of them in this commander. And you're always looking to play, like, whatever, like, the land stack is, regardless of what the specific, like, land cards themselves are. So you just, like, you can have all of that in one place now. And, like, that's their point. Their point is to take these archetypes and, like, and give you that crystallized gameplay experience in a precon.
Yes.
And then back to Olivia. It's like, so here she is, giving a cool Mardu theme to apply all your warlocks and your rogues and your assassins to. And then right behind Olivia is Vihan being like, so I heard you like treasures. And I'm like, bro, where did you come from? No one asked you to be here. Please leave. Go away.
No, he's actually so good.
No, he's too good.
No, hang on. Let me finish. Let me cook here, all right?
Okay.
If you're ignoring the paragraph about animating all of your treasure tokens, just giving Outlaws the keywords that he gives with the visions and the haste, all of that is still incredibly fucking strong.
Sure, yes.
And you have to go and do just a little much with the treasures.
Yeah,
sure, if you ignore the best part about the card is reasonable.
He's still really cool.
Yes, he's still really cool. I will give him that. I just in my heart wish he was like 2 or 3 mana higher.
Yeah.
Understandable.
It's like, oh hey, look, I have 30 treasures.
Here's my 3 mana.
Here's my
Yeah.
Here's my ability to turn my artifacts into creatures and then use aristocrat strategies. And oh wait, what's this? A pitiless plunderer. Wow, they're back. And you're like, man, okay, fine, whatever. I don't even care. Anyway, point being, Olivia is sick. That was the roundabout way.
Yeah, she's a cool card.
Hero's Blade? Yeah, awesome. Yeah, flying lifelink lady, leading the army? Yeah, I'm down for it. Ludi, what are you bringing to the vibe check table today that is not Breya? We've already answered this question.
Ooh, we have. Let's see.
You gotta think. I want you to think. You're on the spot. No big deal.
I have to get a think thonk. Let me think. What's a commander I put in one of my recent Breya decks? A legendary creature I put.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Just what's part of the 99? We'll go with that.
That's yeah. We're just gonna let's pull up my reanimator deck. There's some sweet creatures in there.
What likes holding a hidden blade? What likes holding a Brotherhood regalia? You know,
holding a thing. I am gonna say. Shroom the Hegemon passes the vibe check.
Oh, yeah, totally.
Okay, yeah, I'm down for that.
Because she's 5 power, so you bump her up to 8. She's now a 3-hit kill.
Mm-hmm.
She can reanimate.
Great minimum criteria. That's what we're looking for.
Yeah, you can reanimate the equipment should like it get blown up, or you can reanimate like a big dum-dum and throw that hero's blade on that.
Yeah. What?
I'm signing off on all of this. All of that sounds perfect. You can reanimate your, I don't know, Liberty Prime or something.
Yeah.
Is that guy a creature?
The same
He's a
color.
creature.
Oh, yeah.
That guy's a creature.
Yeah, he's a creature, yeah.
That'll enter. Legendary, pick up the knife if you don't want to put it on Shroom.
Yeah.
You got options.
That's the, jeez, I just... Something about this conversation just reminded me of something and it thought immediately went in my head. Anyway, I'll come back to it later. Radun Haggadoon and Arna Kennerud being... talked about it recently, but I'm like... I opened Radun Haggadoon in my box, and I was like, okay.
Oh shit, it's time. That's for equipment,
It's
my dude.
equipment time. I don't know how many more times that I need to be told to do it, and like, I guess... this is where you pitch Excalibur in your graveyard and you make your little one assassin dude that's like a 10/10 with vigilance and menace, and people are like, oh my god. So yeah, I'm definitely slowly marking my way up to that. But we already did that last week. We talked about it last week. But yeah, Shroom, yeah, pretty good choice. Gotta love that flying Sphinx lady.
Yeah.
Yeah. Approved.
I didn't have any of my decks for this week. So I'm going to choose my buddy's deck that he brought with him this weekend, where he played his Rune of the Hidden Realm deck, where he proceeded to play Seedborn Muse and then capsize a permanent every round, like every turn. And I was like, why must you do this? And, you try to remove the Seedborn Muse and
they
at that
just
point, it's
capsize
too
that
late.
or they flicker it.
It's been capsized 20 times. It's brutal. But anyway. But Rune of the Hidden Realm does actually pass the check, specifically because, look, you're not going to be flickering Rune, but you still need your vigilant trample Bant creature to smack some face and then flicker something else after the fact. And that blade just again upticks everything. You're going from that 5 to 8 power.
Vigilance and trample is just a good set of keywords. Like, you know what, you're getting got, so
Whether you like it or not. As usual, as the history of this podcast has shown, when we're talking about flying creatures or anything that has at least 4 or 5 power and some kind of evasive ability, you're on a clock and you gotta deal with it. And
get in there. Get you
Also,
some combat damage
the cool
triggers.
thing with Rune and Hero's Blade is you can put Stoneforge Mystic in your deck, and I have like a little equipment package, and you can just keep flickering Stoneforge and tutoring all your sweet little equipment.
You're so right.
True.
Also,
That's
it
the one
solves
thing
the
we've been
problem
missing.
of Blink decks, which is they can't win the game ever. So just punch him with your big Rune.
Yeah, you just play control while you're finding knives, and then you just hit them with your equipped up Rune.
Hi, this is my Root of the Hidden Realm deck. I'm gonna hit you with a bunch of swords. You're like, cool. Great. At least it's better than being capsized every dang turn.
Yeah.
Maybe.
It burned my ass that day, but we got over it.
I think I have a tweet somewhere like eons ago that's like capsized with buyback isn't a win con.
Quinn, I can tell you for a fact with my play group it was, so that's a lie.
I will respect capsize as a win con as an outlet of infinite mana. I respect that as a win con. I do not respect I'm just gonna capsize you for 6 mana like every turn, like twice a turn. That's not a win con.
It wasn't a win con, but it was sure annoying as fuck.
Goodness.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, passes the vibe check, regardless of what happened that day, because that day overall was pretty fun. So I'll let the
capsize gamers. Why don't you just play a burn spell? Talk to me.
Because it's in
Here's
beta.
my
Maybe
comment.
you're not in red.
Cast
Hold on, whoa,
Hurricane
yeah. Like maybe you're not in red. Maybe you're also not in green, so you can't cast Hurricane. Like, what if you're an Esper?
What are your other options?
sorry. What if you're in blue-white?
If you're in
I was really like,
Esper,
don't say
Esper.
What if you're in blue-white? Straight blue-white. And you have an
Okay, if
infinite
you're in
mana.
blue and white, then you probably just play the mill spells that you have available and draw everybody out.
Okay.
Like, that's the same as a burn spell to me.
All right.
Like Grand Arbiter, Augustin, and just mill everyone to death while they can't pay their taxes. It's
Yeah, this is my Grand Arbiter mill deck. My win condition is infinite mana and Drown in Dreams.
I mean, sure.
Sure.
Why
go for
not?
it. Oh, Drown in Dreams only kills 2 players. So how are you going to beat the 3rd player?
Great question. I'm glad you asked. I
Hero's Blade on
like
your Grand Arbiter.
Answer and Thassa Deep Dwelling, and we can pick up the whatever root spell I need to.
Okay.
I believe. I'm just gonna sit there and roll my eyes the entire time.
Oh yeah, it'll suck.
Meanwhile, Lenny is in the background, like Air Force One.
Yeah.
Listen, just play. You know what? This is just going back to the whole play Azorius aggro, but I'm gonna just be splashing black and having a good time with that. So, eventually,
Yeah.
That's all. We'll sign off on it.
All right, Quinn. What's your last vibe check for this episode?
It's my girl Zira, the Golden Sting. She's another assassin, a legendary creature insect assassin this time though. She's a 1 in black, red, green for a 3/3 with flying and haste. And whenever she attacks, you put an egg counter on another target creature without an egg counter on it. When that creature dies, if it has an egg counter on it, draw a card and make a 1/1 black insect creature token with flying. I just think a flying with haste creature can also take that blade and get the +3/+3 and be hitting for 6. Like, sure, it's not a 3-turn clock or whatever, but I'm hitting you for a large amount way before you expect it to be hit for that much.
Yeah.
Everyone's assessment of being like, I guess I'd take 10 or I guess I take 5 very early in a game, then leads to you
Feels
later
bad.
being like, I should have taken that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're looking at like turn 3, you're taking 6 damage in the air. Like, what are you gonna do about that? You're not prepared.
What do I also now feel Trenton creeping up over my shoulder and being like, what am I telling you about six X's that can attack and deal damage? And I'm like, get off my case, Trenton. It was the one time, leave it alone. But yeah, you get a point. The evasion though, the flying does definitely help.
Yeah.
Flying in haste is rude. And that's it for the vibe checks this week. We're going to just go straight into whatever content we may have heard of or been consuming recently. Ludi, I'm going to put you on the spot again.
Oh God. I've been so
Have you watched-
busy.
What? Wait, hold on a second. What about the content you do?
All right. This is my shameless plug. I host.
Should have done
the
that at the
Arnie-
beginning of the
Yes.
episode, but
I
whatever.
should have done that. Yeah.
Listen,
It's fine.
don't come to me for precision work.
Better late than never. I host the On an Adventure podcast, which is a show where I talk to various Magic content creators about whatever we want. Honestly, it's just like a nice
Literally whatever.
chill vibe. We just like sit down, talk for like an hour and a half to 2 hours. As of the time of recording, my episode with Spectacles in Blue just went up. It was a very fun episode. We talked about some of the people who like inspire us in the community. Oh God. Me just absolutely panicking. Like, what are we talking about? Like,
me staring.
I'm looking forward to tucking into that later.
yeah.
Me staring at Spectacles in Blue and being like, those spectacles are blue, as a matter of fact. Wow.
Those spectacles do be blue. But yeah,
sure are.
But yeah, that's my show. I have had Quinn on in the past. I will have Cole on in the future. That's the next episode that I need to edit, and then it should be out in a week or so.
Awesome.
Nice.
So yeah.
You listen to me talk about absolutely nothing by the end of the episode. I'm just like,
Yeah, usually we're supposed to talk about things outside of Magic the Gathering, but that's all I know. So me and Motor Scooter talked about
Yeah.
Magic for quite some time, and it was great.
Yeah.
Don't worry, I've been trying
The
to-
show is to try to talk about like outside of Magic, to kind of learn like more about the creator, like as a person. It's like, oh, they have like this other hobby, or you know, oh, they just like are a really good cook, and I'm just learning that for the first time, or something like that. But hey, sometimes we just talk about Magic for 2 hours, and
listen.
that's also great.
I've been trying to get Quinn on some kind of FromSoft game and I'm slowly wearing Faye out, but eventually maybe we're gonna do like Elden Ring co-op mod when they actually get that thing fixed up again, because apparently after the Shadow of the Erdtree update, it just completely broke the whole damn thing, and then the person's like, checks notes, I gotta build everything from scratch, BRB, and then like shut the whole thing down. And it was like, okay, so we're doing something different, and apparently it's on a good trend, like a good upward trend, but I'm just looking at all these YouTube videos, and I'm like, damn, that looks fun, where everyone, like, 20 people are running across the field at, like, 5 frames a second, like, just gang shanking the whatever boss on the field, and you're just like, dang, the scale up to 20 people do be crazy. But yeah, eventually. But until then, Quinn can talk about, you know, Assassin's Creed 2, or Final Fantasy, what are you on now?
We're playing Final Fantasy VI. I think my actual current video game focus is Paper Mario: The Thousand
There we go.
Year Door.
Okay, yeah.
Excellent choice.
I recently got a remake on the Nintendo Switch. The soundtrack is lush and beautiful and fleshed out, and it sounds exactly the way that I remember. And you still have the ability to like go back and play the like retro soundtrack, so you can compare the two.
Good choice.
They did that with, I remember when they did that with Heart Gold and Soul Silver for Pokemon, and it was like, I hate that you had to be at the end game to get the GB sounds, to get the old soundtrack, and then they also just went and redid any of the modern tracks in the retro font. I'm like, okay, you got me. Now can you do this more often? And then Game Freak said, lol, Lamau.
Yeah, right?
Like, no, we will not.
Okay, no. I guess. But then, you know, they did Gen 5, and Gen 5 was pretty sweet. But anyway. But yeah, on an adventure where, you know, just run your mouth and talk about whatever, which is pretty great.
Yeah.
Quinn, do you got anything?
It's been a big weekend listening to podcasts for me, so I finished my listen through of the Legendary Creature podcast.
You are a monster! Hold on a second. No, hold on. Let me just go here. Spotify, show me. Keep going.
So I finished that. I've been going through the backlots of a different podcast, the Commander Theory podcast. Heard them talked about quite a bit on the Legendary Creature podcast, and they had a couple of guest spots over there, seeing they're doing the like content hopping thing, linking between related content creators. It's good stuff over there. They've got pretty in-depth analysis about cards and predictions. It's especially fun to listen to old like set reviews.
Ooh.
And just like
see how heinously wrong they are.
Yeah, just compare where things actually ended up with what they think they're going to be.
This card is trash years later. Fuck. It's really good.
Every once in a while you find gems where they're talking about like, here's a budget option if you don't want to pony up the like $15 for that Dockside Extortionist, and you look at the price history and you look back at the podcast app.
You look into the camera like it's The Office and be like, yeah. Also, Quinn, I just did a quick scroll through. That is so many episodes. That's
a lot.
So many episodes.
I think if you like podcasts about like playgroup dynamics in particular, as well as builds that are like off the beaten path, or gamers who like to move the goalposts out a little bit further on purpose in their deck building.
Yes,
that's the kind of gaming that they're getting up to over there, the metagame that they talk about. I have a lot of fun with that.
It is very interesting when it comes to like content creation. And obviously, like, there are a lot of content creators that have very kind of, like, I wouldn't say, like, insular or isolated, but they do basically have, like, isolated playgroups. So they're like, these are the people I want to play with for whatever reason. Could be pity, it could be spite, God knows, right? But you're with them to the end, right? But it is always interesting to see how, like, they have stats and they have, like, such clear memories and an understanding of like their like the dynamics between everyone, each individual's strengths, their own honest like, I fucking hate blue. You're like, all right, I respect it. I'm the same. And yeah, but also, Quinn, with all this effort that you put into listening to that podcast, you do realize that you have put yourself in the threshold of watching One Piece. Listen, I'll be honest, I'm joking. We're never doing this. It's not going to happen. Every time...
I've never thought about it like that, but that might be the same volume of content as One Piece.
It's it's over 1,000 episodes of One Piece. Quinn,
I don't know what to tell you, gamers. I don't have it in me to do
Quinn,
that. But I can
each of these
our
podcast episodes average an hour and a half bare minimum nowadays. What are you doing?
Listening to podcasts and playing video games.
Okay, fair. I'm about the same. But anyway, we both know that ain't gonna be happening.
Bro, have you ever synchronized a viewpoint while somebody else is talking about their deck brew for like Hoffrey Ghost Forge or something?
I mean, sometimes I'm fighting like an Elden Ring boss in a cave while I'm listening to like me run my mouth and you calling me out my bullshit when I'm listening back through an episode of ours. So yeah, I'm pretty familiar.
Okay, yeah, it's that. That's like peak gaming experience. Is I'm doing this thing that only needs part of my brain.
If it's not a main
podcasts.
boss, I'm not locked in, and I can be like, God, why did I sound like such an idiot in this part?
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm like, why did I say that? You know. But yeah, so. I did recommend the Legendary Creature podcast to a few more people, and so far it seems, at least with one person, he's enjoyed it. So I'm like, good, I've done my job.
A salute.
Yeah.
So yeah, in terms of content that I put on the list here, I was tipped off of a technically playable article by Paul Palmer over on EDH Rec, and it's about Alora Mary Thief from the Commander Legends Battle for Baldur's Gate deck.
Yeah,
I think about her every once in a while as another blue-black ninja deck.
Fitz is a big fan of her. But one of the things was that was the direction that Paul ultimately went with, was finding ways to duplicate artifacts by using like just a mono blue deck, and then focusing on using the likes of Saya the Shinobi, Stormrider Rig, and of course Hero's Blade on top of like copying them or tutoring them out, using like Trinket Mage, Tribute Mage, and Trophy Mage. And then just finding ways to keep her alive. And it's like, so how does 20 Hero's Blades sound on my one commander, you know?
Yeah.
Obviously a little up there, probably not exactly, but I just, neat direction. Thought that was neat. Got that tip off from Twitter. And it's a good read. So that'll be in the episode links as normal. Salubrious Snails, how to play more removal and be happy about it, which, as with most things, when you hear someone say on Twitter, one more removal, I roll my eyes and I take one more piece of removal out of a deck. And then I sit down and I listen to Salubrious Snails episode, and then I'm like, hold on a minute, I put two more back into my deck.
Yeah.
Every time somebody flippantly references run more removal, I go and hit the bong again.
I'd rather green out first than freaking listen to this fucking spiel again. Like,
I'm just like, whatever.
I watched that video, and I immediately realized, oh, this is why I like Breya so much. It's because I don't have to put removal in my deck.
Yeah, you don't care. Breya
my
is
commander's
the removal.
A removal spell. Yeah, I just need non-creature removal.
Yeah, that's what it comes down to. But it was just, the TLDR on that is just like, if you play your removal thematically to your deck strengths, obviously it's going to be more favorable because it doesn't just do the removal bit, it also contributes to your deck strategy in some way.
Oh man, You ever take 13 from a Shivan meteor because somebody needed to blow up your Thraxamundar?
Fucking how what?
No.
Did I just hear the words shiv?
Yeah, I was say fucking.
Yeah. So
Hold
my
on. Wait.
homegirl-
No. Hold on. I know.
I do know what this
Yeah,
card
she's playing
is.
thematic removal.
Why did you take
Needed to
13
blow
off
up
of?
the.
Wait.
I love paying suspend 2 for 1 and a double red to deal 13 damage to target creature.
I love
and
casting
then
murder in
Pyro
red.
Oh, so it's even
Which is
worse.
why this is thematic removal. Like, sure, it's a 5 mana spell or whatever to deal 13 to target creature, but you can also just, like, if you play the removal spells for your commander or for your theme or whatever, then fucking laser your opponents for 13.
Yeah, it does the work.
Yeah.
I wonder if someone was playing Brimstone Volley in that deck. Anyway.
Shout out to Brimstone Volley.
But yeah, so Salubrious Snail is slowly but surely putting out pretty just nice, enjoyable content. It's very relaxing, I found, just to be like, very concise, to the point, tells you some pretty funny stories, and then the roundup, and it's all done within like 15 minutes, and I just think that's pretty great.
Yeah. I love the like PowerPoint style presentation.
Yes.
It reminds me of a Pokemon content creator I discovered recently called Electric Wind Girlfriend, who just does like 2-minute like PowerPoint presentations on like a Pokemon or like a move that's really funny, and that's it. That's the video. It's just like,
I was gonna say
these moves are funny. That's it.
Why I've never heard of it, but yeah, okay, I'm down for that.
I'm just laughing about the username Electric Wind Girlfriend.
It's also
like somebody who saw UWGF and was like, got this? No.
No, girlfriend. Yeah. Also, her handle, Electric Wind Girlfriend, fantastic handle.
Incredible.
That's awesome. And then the last piece of actual content before just being like cool Assassin's Creed cool is Kristen's new article that just came out today, which like I was like, cool, she does it again, and
let's go, another banger.
It's about 5 underrated commanders from Strixhaven. The first one that I saw, I was just shaking my head. But the rest, in my opinion, are pretty great.
So I had the same reaction to you. The first one is Adrix and Nev.
Yes.
I had the same reaction. Yeah, I had the same reaction of, is it really underrated? But I do like that.
Kipling season in the command zone. I don't know, gamers.
I do agree with her point that it is a Simic commander that's not just land bullshit. And that's
okay. Fair enough.
Pretty
true.
cool.
True.
Like that's at least
you can
something.
have that one.
Yeah, and it's like, all right. Unfortunately, that argument kind of breaks down when Scoot Swarm is still clown shoes in Ajax and Nev, but like, you know.
Scoot Swarm's really strong. You get 2 coma coils.
Yeah.
Stop. I don't want this in my life. And 1 coma's already enough. Anyway, my issue with Simic design is that it is often a gateway for you to put your other Simic bullshit in the Simic bullshit deck. And then it doesn't just seem like it doubles its effectiveness, it just seems to like quintuple the bullshit.
Yeah.
It's
Well, yeah, you're putting extra lands into play with Bonnie and Paul that you're using to cast your Bryland the Mooncracker, and that you can bounce other things, and then when that guy enters, you're gonna trigger your Garrick's Uprising and your other thing.
Anyway, killing Ink Duelist being part of this list was sweet to see. You know, we immediately went from, this sucks, to, alright, this is pretty sick.
Yeah.
But then, of course, there was the Hoffrey at the very tippity top of this, and it made me laugh just because of just some recent understandings that I had to have explained to me, where I'm like, why is Hoffrey so bad? And Quinn just like, hand on shoulder, this card's fucking rude. And I'm like, oh yeah, okay.
There are a lot of Hoffrey gamers out there looping Solitude and not doing much else that until they find their goblin pirate, and then they end the game.
Yeah, it's like, you know how Marin used to, like, suck to play against because they would just loop Plaguecrafter over and over again? Okay, imagine that but with Solitude. Imagine that but with they're looping Solitude over and over again.
The one time I'm actually like, please just hit me with the frickin' Plaguecrafter.
Can you please just turn your spirits sideways? And they're just like, what is combat?
What the hell?
Yeah,
what's combat?
To Krista's credit for this one, she's thankfully like, this is like an aggro deck where you turn your spirit sideways. I'm like, oh, thank God.
Thank God, yeah.
I was thankful to see that. I also, shout out to the Velomachus Lorehold mention. I really like that card a lot.
Yes. I've seen it hit the battlefield a few times in the command zone part of the 99. You're like, this card is just sweet. It's just awesome. 7 mana never felt so good until it just dies. But, yeah.
I simply do not kill my Mythic Rare with a Wicked Attack trigger. I spent good mana on that. It's not like it's going to kill you or anything. I say as I rip the Grey Train heist off the top of my head with that ability.
I have Velomachus in my Yishin Two Heavens as one deck, and you know what? If you whiff the first time, it doesn't matter because it's coming the second time, and then you're just like,
you're off
cool.
To the races.
Here's a Chroma's Will. Hey, whoa, check that out.
Oh yeah,
choo choo.
But anyway, it is nice to have in the environment that is Magic set releases right now. That people are like, all right, let's take a break. Let's go back. Strixhaven, it was only 3 years ago. Yeah. I don't believe it.
Yeah, let's look at what was in fucking New Capenna.
Let's go back to New Capenna again.
Please,
for the
oh my God.
time.
I'm still not sure what all is in that set. There's 3 decks that I haven't explored yet, gamers.
Yeah.
I recently got gifted
I'm
the
taking my
Kamiz
time
deck,
with it.
and
What was it?
I recently got gifted the Kamiz deck, and I've yet to play it.
Ooh.
But I do know that deck has Lethal Scheme, and that card...
Okay, that card is sick.
I love
awesome.
Lethal Scheme.
I love that deck so much. I love how they figured out how to make Esper combat a thing and have it feel like the sneaky, clever Esper mage that I need to feel like sometimes. It's really cool. And they give me a Quietus Spike so I can just...
You can just
shank him to death?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's like, oh.
And then turn to their opponent and be like, hey...
It's your turn.
I know now.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get you now.
Although, Ludi, that you saying that, you came in just at the right time for... Is Kamiz? Kamiz was a cephalid, right?
Yeah,
Correct.
Kamiz now doesn't get bounced by Whelming Wave.
Kamiz does not get bounced by Whelming Wave.
Sea Monsters decks never look so good.
They also get to play
Honestly,
Cephalid Face
Esper Sea
Taker?
Monsters, there's something there.
Yeah, there definitely is. Oh, jeez. Are there any white sea monsters?
I don't think so, but I think somebody was cooking that up. I
thought I saw two, but I can't remember where.
Yeah.
Hey, Ludi.
I don't know if there's like white sea monsters, but you do get Dream Trawler and you do get,
get off your Dream Trawler.
Sure.
That's enough.
Sure.
Ludi, does Kamiz fit in any of your Breya decks?
Where's the Breya?
You gotta think about this.
I gotta think of this. Not currently.
Okay, alright.
But I don't really have like a Breya like aggro deck. Like Reanimator's the closest thing where it's like, all right, I'm reanimating big things and then I'm punching you
And start turning them sideways, yeah.
Yeah, but like I don't have the like I'm just gonna cast like Slicer and then and then whatever the 5 mana other Boros Lorehold commander that like deals a shit ton of damage when you tap your artifacts, whatever that card is called. I don't remember what it's called.
Oh, Amanatu. No, not Amanatu.
No,
Alibo.
Yes. Like,
it's like,
I don't have like an aggro deck that's just like cast Slicer, cast Alibu, like just beats your just beats the tar out of you kind of deck. Like I don't have that yet. But if I do build that, giving my shit unblockable and giving it like a smaller thing double strike, hell yeah. This is pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty sweet.
Hey, I want that on my desk in 2 weeks.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
No, Quinn's serious. 2 weeks. You got
Sure.
you got until after the episode comes out, and then you got another
Alright.
week.
All right, cool. I'll get that down.
Perfect. I'm looking forward to this Breya aggro list.
Yeah, AC good. Now, when I say AC, I do mean Assassin's Creed. I do not mean Armored Core.
Oh, I was
I
gonna
don't-
say, I don't mean the stupid Civic Commander from Commander
Yeah,
Legends.
see, I heard
That's-
AC.
I don't mean AC, the
Straits.
Raging Gyre, or whatever the hell that
Yeah.
fucking subtitle is. I don't.
What a silly noodle.
I don't
Yeah.
mean God, what is that plane flying game? Whatever AC video game.
Ace Combat.
Ace
Ace
Combat. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
And not
Don't mean
Animal Crossing. It's not Animal Crossing. We're talking about Assassin's Creed, at least for this episode, and maybe next, but most definitely this episode. Anyway.
Okay, but just while we're on Animal Crossing for a second, consider KK Slider and an Assassin's Hood. Send tweet.
Ooh, that would go hard. Kick a slider to
Okay.
Yeah, that would.
All right, you're cooking.
Yeah, I'll give you that one.
Okay, so that is it in regards to content this week. A little bit brief, but all of it's good as usual. We will now go to decks and brews and games and stuff. Ludi, I know that you said that you didn't really have recent stuff because you've been so busy.
Yeah.
But you did get to play some games. You brought some people up, which
Yeah.
are always names I'm always happy to see.
Yes. So I played a game recently with Jen and Donnie from the Filthy MTG Casuals, and in the show notes, I forgot which Andy I played against for a second. I played against. There's a lot of Andys, all right, and by that I mean there's like, anyway.
There's the
yeah.
hey. I
There's a
remember
couple of them that play Magic, I know.
Commandy Fest Andy. You know, I've heard of that.
Yeah.
I'm not
Exactly.
able to go because I'm not an Andy.
Yeah, I played against so it's Jen and Donnie and Andy Zupke, and Andy was on Samwise Gamgee.
Oh yeah.
Hobbits and Cars, as it was called.
I'm sorry, what?
Hobbits and Cars.
Get in the car, Frodo. We're going to Mount Doom.
Okay.
It had
Sure,
a bunch of
Hobbits
vehicles.
and Cars.
Had a bunch of vehicles. Had a bunch of hobbits. Hobbits and Cars.
Okay.
Fair enough.
Jen was on Geralf, Mono Blue Geralf from Crimson Vow.
Ooh, yeah.
And Donnie was on.
Up to some no good bullshit.
Oh
as
yeah,
usual.
no. Donnie was on Tevish Sakashima.
Oh, that deck, yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
And I'm
There's
on.
nothing good that happens.
No, God no. And I'm on Breya Reanimator, and I reanimate a triplicate Titan early on into the game, as that deck does, and then Donnie clones it 3 times, and then and then Jen steals.
That's entirely too many triplicate
And then Jen
Titans.
steals one of his clones, and then she clones it a second time. And then I have both Reflection of Kikijiki and Sahili the Sun's Brilliance in play. So I have 3 triplicate Titans on my board at a time. Jen has 2. Donnie has 2 to 3. Andy's just there, poor
And he's like, "Cool, thanks for inviting me
Yeah.
to this triple
Everybody's got
Titan."
these robots, and
Yeah.
he's just like,
It's that scene. It's that image of it's Dark Souls 3 when it's the Ashen One against Yorm the Giant, and you're just like, but it's actually really bad and not in Andy's favor.
Yeah. So yeah, there was probably I think the most triplicate Titans on that board was 7, but I think over the course of the game probably 12 to 15 triplicate Titans were made.
holy shit.
Jeez.
There's just a lot of 3/3 golems running around too, making
Yeah.
combat a nightmare.
The funniest part is we weren't attacking into each other because we're I don't want to trade triplicate Titans.
I don't want to lose my triplicate Titan to
Right.
your triplicate Titan.
And we also were I don't want to beat up Andy, because Andy's the only free attack. We don't want to beat him up. So we just sat there
Of
doing
course.
fuck all with our triplicate titans. And then at some point I was like, all right, I'm just gonna break this. I'm just gonna copy my triplicate titan twice on Donnie's end step. I'm gonna copy it twice on my turn. Whack you with 4 triplicate titans that are gonna die on my end step anyway. Like, let's get this game moving.
You gotta start moving things forward.
Yeah.
I see it.
So yeah, that game is very silly. It's very dumb.
Poor Andy is what I'm hearing.
Poor Andy. I will say though,
Somebody get that guy a triplicate titan.
Andy played a mysterious limousine in that game, and that card bangs. Mysterious limousine.
Oh yeah. No, that card's awesome.
Yeah, that card did work that game. It was great. It's a 5-mana vehicle from New Capenna. It has
there we go. All right.
Yeah. And says when it attacks, you exile, or when it ETBs or attacks, you exile one other target creature until it leaves the battlefield. And if you exile a creature, you return all the other creatures it's exiled. So you basically like either blink a thing, which like makes food with Samwise, or it just can like O-ring a creature basically. But like it can kind of shift what it O-rings. It's sweet. It did a lot of work that game.
Yeah, that's another cool heater from Streets of New Capenna. I
One of
don't
many.
think I've seen that in play yet, so I'm glad to hear that was putting in work over there.
Also, it's pretty good versus the Triplicate Titan.
This is why you don't play good cards in your decks, everyone, because then you have Donnie and Jen and Ludi taking each other's shit, and then you just gotta sit there and deal with it.
Well, I copied my own Triplicate Titans. Saheeli
Okay, so
and
what I'm
Reflection.
hearing is you provided the bomb to the table. You provided
Correct.
a loaded gun.
Yes.
And then Donnie and Jen said, Shadow Clone Jutsu, we got our own.
Yeah.
And then everyone's it's the scene in, was it The Office,
Yep.
where everyone's got guns pointed at each other?
Yep.
Yeah.
I brought a gun, and then Donnie and Jen turned it into a shootout.
I'd expect nothing less from those two whenever you're sitting across the table from them.
Of course not.
Oh, of course.
If you're
Incredible gamers, the both of them.
If you're not somehow getting them to deal with each other, you deal with one and then you accidentally hand the game to the other.
This almost happened in that game too. Donnie had a Notion Thief in play. Cast a windfall.
Generate some saline.
Cast a windfall.
Oh no, my dude.
Drew 20 cards. And
Donnie, no.
I'd expect
I was
nothing
like-
less.
I was like, all right, Donnie, I'm gonna like punch you with my Triplicate Titans. You're gonna have to block. You're gonna lose your Triplicate Titans, and then Jen's gonna kill you on her turn with her Triplicate Titans. And then Jen's like, you know what? I'm just gonna attack Donnie to 2. And I'm like, Jen, what is happening? Like,
no.
why?
Finish the job.
What are you
you know
doing?
what? This is going to be hilarious to
Double
talk
tap,
about.
Jen.
This is going to be
Double tap.
I was going to
And then I was like,
about my
I
story.
was like, all right, fine. If you won't kill Donnie, I'll do it. Activate Breya. Kill Donnie.
But you see, Ludi,
there you go.
she tricked you. She made you kill him.
That's fine. I killed her on my next turn with my Triplicate
Oh, okay,
Titans.
good. Never mind. The plan
Yeah.
failed.
It did
Get him.
not matter. It did not matter.
I need to have a game with them soon where I actually kill the both of them and damn the consequences of everything else.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, look. The last time that I played with the both of them was with Beth, Queen of Cardboard.
That's a pod. That's a banger pod.
Immediately, Beth's like, "Hello, everyone. Welcome to my stream. I am not safe." And I'm like, "Yes,
Yeah.
correct."
Correct.
And then she tried to get me with you draw your card on your turn on your empty deck and you lose. And I said, "Lol, Lamau, I have an upkeep trigger to respond to before I draw my card." And then I put her to 0 and then lost.
Nice.
Good.
And then I'm like, and then Jen
in
wins.
the room.
And then she's
Yeah.
like, "But why?" And I'm like, "Well, you see, Beth, spite.
Yeah. I think
It's
the
a
funniest
powerful
thing
tool."
the funniest thing Beth once did is I was playing a game with her, Benji, and I don't remember our fourth. Benji like attacks me for lethal, and then not yes it was lethal. And Beth like casts a fog, and I'm like, Beth, what the hell? Like, what? I do not deserve to live. I am the problem. I am the threat. I played this turn assuming I was gonna die. And then she just turns around and kills me on her turn. I'm like, okay, all right, I get it.
Well,
Again,
No, I wanted to do it. It was me.
yeah. I was like, all right, I respect it.
I don't know how many times I think I've seen that where it's like there are the genuine like mercy says where it's like, okay, you were on the gas, you were going 200 miles an hour screaming at this one player, and I needed you to like chill the fuck out for a sec.
Yeah.
And then later be like, cool, anyway, good deed done. I will now do it myself at a later time, you know? But God, that's so funny. So speaking of actually finishing the job,
yeah.
welcome to the DrownedSecrets.fm bit.
Woo!
Part 1, where Quinn fucking biffed it in a game of Commander.
Oh, man.
So,
Yeah.
be me and put yourself in the roster for MTG Lexicon, the die bar of EDH. And we had Brandon, the producer, in the house, so obviously we're up to no good. But the unfortunate thing was Quinn was on fair stabby knife bullshit,
As Quinn does.
Usual.
backed up with powerful technology that somehow allows you to access your genetic memory and make your legendary creatures, I don't know, target Iroas, or
Yeah, Iroa's got a victory, and Gisela.
Blade of Gold Knight. And it's like, how about you stop after the first one? And Quinn said, but Cole, you're the problem because you have a Gisela in your graveyard that we just killed. I'm going to exile it under my 2 mana value universes beyond specific artifacts. And I said, die. And so
Enough is enough.
so the entire time, you know, we got Quinn, we got me. Brandon was playing. Did I not have it on here? That doesn't seem right. Or was it last month? Oh, it was last month. Okay. So Brandon was on Belly Norca from Nelly Borka, son of a bitch.
Belly Borka.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I said what I said. We'll have some Belly Borka bites, you know, get some... Anyway, so Nelly Borka, excuse me, Quinn was playing the 5-color Altair. No, 5-color Ezio. God.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't remember what Gabe was playing. I clearly didn't put it down. Sorry, Ice Temp.
Damn.
What?
Get fucked, 4th player.
Get fucked for a player. So, I should have been targeting Brandon, but Quinn was like, I'm gonna go all out and attack. I'm like, well, I'm also being goaded repeatedly, so I could attack Gabe, but how about I attack Quinn? And then Quinn's like, well, we can't keep having this, so I'm gonna also be goaded, and I think I'm gonna attack Cole, and I'm also gonna exile his Iroh's God to Victory. And I'm like, okay, strike 1. And so, as it turns out, Audric Blood Curse can really apply the pressure.
Yeah.
Truly.
And
Yeah.
then, when you take away my Gisela that I was going to try to start using to use as a weapon against Brandon for drawing 120 cards, and I was going to use Molten Psyche doubled with Gisela to smoke his ass, but unfortunately Gisela got yoinked into the ephemeral plane of, I don't know how this freaking memory...
She got uploaded to the animals.
Yeah, I don't like this. Anyway, I said, okay,
They
GG's.
sent her ass to the memory corridor.
Anyway, Quinn said, all right, cool, exile Gisela, and I said, strike 3. We're skipping steps. We're just going for it. And he said, Secret Layers, though. Goodbye. Quinn's like,
It really was strike 1, strike 3. And then I'm like, okay, here's a really ambitious combat. Wow, I'm taking a lot of damage here. Mid-combat, I was like, great train heist? I'm like, oh, so
Yes,
I'm
you
dead. Okay.
cleaned it up, and I was like, Gabe, I don't care. Just take it away. And then Brandon won that game anyway, so go figure.
Love Great
Yeah.
Train Heist.
It is a pretty fun...
That card,
It's a cool
I
card.
kept wondering why I was specifically getting got with that during combat. And, hey, gamers, on the card it says the extra combat doesn't work unless you cast it during combat.
Yeah. So
That's why.
So, it was Quinn's like, all right, I guess I'm taking damage. Now you're taking death. Oh, okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was part 1 of DrownedSecrets.fm. We'll come back to this bit later.
Oh, man, yeah. I've died a lot. Everyone's died a lot.
Yeah.
True, yeah.
Are you really a Commander
let's go
player
with
if
you.
you haven't died a lot in the stupidest ways?
Yeah, oh yeah. I mean, yeah, listen, if you're winning all your games and you don't got the good stories, you're a bad player? Quote me on that. Do quote me on that.
Okay.
Much to think about.
Yeah.
I don't know what the math is on that, but there's definitely 3 people at that table that aren't you, which means the chances of you winning every game are dramatically lower than if it was 2 people.
True.
So, I don't know, factor in that math, see what your win
I'm
rate
just saying,
should be,
if you have a
in that
consistent win
context.
rate, you are missing out on so much more by losing.
Yes.
You don't, like, if you're just sitting there winning all of your games, I mean, like, look, not everyone can be a comedian going to all these CDH tournaments and, like, placing that man's gonna have a haul of time twisters or whatever the heck the freaking cards are gonna be at the end of it, get like a gold placard time twister and tell him to beat it and let other people win for once. But the point I'm trying to get here is that you're more likely to create memories by having those silly moments of being spiteful and being goofy and then being like, well, I did just get got by the thing I did not expect.
Yeah.
Or, wow, I didn't realize Cole hated me exiling only 2 of his things from the graveyard, and it turns out that was all the
all it
justification
took, yeah.
in the world I needed to just be like, Quinn, I need you to stop existing in this game.
Yeah, as it turns out, actions, they have consequences, and even though it's probably correct to remove the indestructible menace granter and damage preventer from your graveyard so that you can't reanimate
The
it,
menace
or
and
remove
slash
your
damage canceller
doubler.
part was way worse than what Gisela was bringing to the table.
It was all bad, and it was correct to remove.
And it was also correct to remove
That it's
you.
not
I
correct
just-
to get.
I wish it was
Yeah.
Brandon, though. I really do.
Like, I can take these actions, and you can absolutely also take actions by cutting my fucking head off.
Yeah.
That's the game.
Vibe check.
Black.
Yep.
But yeah, okay, Quinn, what's good? What's yours?
Just a big long section of SEO posting.
Very long,
Holy
very
shit,
long.
Oh god, so much
posting.
SEO posting.
Yeah, hold on. Let me scroll. It's an essay. At
It's
least
an
you got
essay.
it in before. You got it before 12 p.m. Pacific time, at least from what I could tell. So you actually got the notes up
You
there.
should write a dissertation on Ezio. Like, my god.
Oh, don't worry. Fair
This
working
is
way
like
up to it.
2 pages. It's not even that much. There's hardly enough content here for a dissertation, please. Maybe like a short video essay.
Anyway, my dissertation will be on Odric Blood Cursed.
Yeah, that's mine
you
would be on
probably
Breya.
could actually do that.
Obviously.
I'm gonna eventually make. Everyone's been talking about like how all their friends get together and make like PowerPoints, and I'd be
Yeah.
like, I want to get a group of magic people together and be like, welcome to my Odric Blood Cursed PowerPoint.
PowerPoint night where you try and show people
Yeah,
the live
and it's
Amazon,
100
but,
it's
like, for
100
whatever your deck
frames.
happens to be.
It's 100 frames. It'd be like, we're not done. You thought I was done? I came back. You're wrong. Here's the 2.0 version. And then, yeah, no. But anyway, sorry.
I'm just like, so that was 25 pages on just the keywords that we have available to us. I'd like to move into uses for blood tokens. This is going to be another 25 slide section, so you're going to want to take a break here and get some refreshments.
I'm
We'll be back after the intermission.
I'm specifically calling out Laz from the Brew Review podcast and telling him to pound salt for saying anything that's less than a treasure token is not worth his attention. And I'm here to show him and you how wrong he is 20 slides later. And that's all the applications. We will now go into the subcategory of other tokens this deck makes. Okay, anyway, so Ezio posting. Let's go to it. Let's get into it.
Let's do it.
All right, yeah. So I've been kind of one-track minding this deck. I'll be like starting a game session in one metagame, or like server or whatever. We're just like, okay, we'll get in one game with a deck that's not Ezio, and then a game in with a deck that's Ezio, and then just repeating that process anytime there's like a games available. So we're getting in a lot of reps on the deck.
Mm-hmm.
It continues to be sick as fuck.
Shocking.
Yeah, surprise, surprise.
Yeah, shocking. Remembered the confession dial from Doctor Who? Doctor Who mentioned.
We got there.
Swapped one of those in the deck. It's a 3-mana artifact that enters the battlefield and has you surveil 3, and you can tap it to give target legendary creature card in your graveyard escape. For the Underworld Reach thing. Just like exile 3 cards and then pay the mana cost.
Card.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah,
That's really cool.
A lot of use in that to just like turning your commander attacks into exile 3 cards from your graveyard.
Yeah.
And besides that, if you're also like on the reanimator bullshit like the Assassin's deck kind of wants to be, then you can have an alternate way to get stuff out of your graveyard. I don't think we've gotten to cast it yet, but it's got potential. It looks really strong. Edward Kenway is the motherfucking dude. He is a very expensive, dollar-wise and mana value pirate assassin.
Yep.
He's got a lot of creature types.
God,
and
Edward
just like
sorry,
two
to
distinct
interject.
paragraphs of text. Do you have the guy pulled up?
AC4, Edward Kenway is fucking sick.
Alright, so these 2 win Grixis for a legendary creature, human assassin pirate, 5/5. At the beginning of your end step, make a treasure token for each tapped assassin, pirate, and or vehicle you control. And he's got a whole other paragraph of text that means absolutely fucking nothing to me, and I still play the card because it fucking rips.
Yeah, well, you're also Grixis Mean Girls, so like you had to get
You have to get your
the rep in there somehow, you know?
Yeah.
I truly did. They gave me a Grixis Pirate Assassin, so 1, I want to play him in my Sapphic Blue Farm Pirates deck, and 2, we're going to play that in the Assassin's deck because it makes a metric fuck ton of treasure. Just for swinging with my Assassins, which I was going to do anyway, because I'm here to reduce life totals and show you the hidden blades.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude makes metric fuck tons of treasure. We're gonna try and get our hands on a real copy of that because it's very satisfying. I like the art a lot. And it's extreme bells because I think other people realize that he makes a fuck ton of treasure and is a really strong Magic the Gathering card.
Yup.
Getting our hands on some of these Assassin's Creed cards maybe is going to be like a challenge.
Oh god, fine, I'll send you some. Jeez, just freaking...
I posted my wants list, alright, so I've got a bunch of Animus Frame wants.
Okay, can't help you with that. Did not open that in this box.
Okay, that's fair.
But I got you covered on a bunch of other stuff, I'm sure.
Okay, sweet. The treasures that Edward makes, though, it reminded me of how fucking good Olivia Opulent Outlaw is, and she's an assassin.
Coming back around! Oh, yeah!
Yeah, it's full circle. So we, after that one game where we recognized the value of that, we swapped Olivia in. Still haven't gotten to play her yet, but she seems like she's going to be really strong in there. Surveil and Mill as card advantage continue to work out really well in that deck. Hitting with Desmond and doing the Surveil X, where X is the amount of damage dealt, or Lydia Fry doing Surveil for the number of tapped assassins. And I also just like leaned a little further into that with the removal spells that say Surveil, and the other things that are just like Confession Dial, Surveil, and all that. So like we're leaning further into the Surveil as the card advantage instead of just traditionally drawing a card.
Yeah.
It's worked out. So we've got the homegirl Layla Hassan, the 4-mana assassin who ETBs and grabs a historic card from your graveyard, puts it in your hand, so I can grab my artifacts that I mill in addition to any creatures if I don't want them there. And sometimes I do, but sometimes I want to just like hard cast it from my hand or cast it with free running from my hand if I haven't found a way to hack that. Yggdrasil? Wild card. We talked about that earlier. That one comes in clutch in ways that I didn't expect. If people have graveyard hate, but they don't have removal for an artifact, which like happens.
Yeah.
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 Well, it's like when people can't
surprised.
get rid of like an enchantment You know, it's like...
Yeah.
Yeah, they just they don't always have every piece of pinpoint removal that they have. So even though usually exiling your graveyard sucks, you can tuck them away safely and put them onto the battlefield. And there's no downside from each or so. There's no finality counter. There's no exile it when it leaves. Yep. It's just there. So you get to loop things if you want to for very expensive mana values. But you can do it.
Yeah.
I read the
It's
card.
pretty cool how it all comes together. It's crazy.
Yeah.
How did they do that?
I read the last line of text on Yggdrasil, and I assumed it exiled the thing at end of turn, or it sacked it, or put a finality counter. Nope! It just has haste.
Nope.
It's in play permanently.
Deal with it.
And it has haste.
Just fucking deal with it, yeah.
So I'm just let me just exile the top 3 cards of my library. Oh, there was Kiku Knight's Flower in that. We'll put that away for later, and then we'll get to my next turn. We'll tap 4 mana. We'll put her onto the battlefield with haste and immediately make some creature punch itself.
You know, someone was a hater when they went and died and was buried, and then they came back a hater. Immediately said it's on site, and they came after you.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's really cool. Big fan of that tree. Really want the widescreen foil with the the glowy tree art.
Yeah.
I think that'll look really cool. Damn, more posting. Oh yeah, I got to ice somebody with the Wooberg triggered ability. I didn't think that was going to happen because I'm a hipster and my deck is mono black basically. My mana base, it's all swamps except for 3 lands. I got a Chromatic Lantern. I got some mana.
Yeah, your methods are not
bobbleheads.
plentiful enough for it to be a consistent thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I've got a bunch of treasure generation, so I can buy the mana to make put a hit out on somebody basically.
Sure. Yeah.
It can happen, and it did happen once. I moved the goalposts pretty far out, but we got there, and that felt really good. The other cool thing that happened is playing Altair and the Animus at the same time. They're the 2 cards in the set that reference memory counters.
Yes, yeah.
So you're just Altair targets the assassins in your graveyard for memory counters and locks them away for use. The Animus can hit any legendary creature in any graveyard. So you get to this Altair's doing a bunch of exiling, and this guy's doing exiling over here, and I've got this vast library of cards to choose from, and I'm putting a bunch of guys onto the battlefield tapped and attacking, and I'm sacrificing them at the end of combat, but it's fine because we're putting in a bunch of fucking damage. Altair's he's that motherfucking dude. I think we're going to see quite a few decks of his.
But he already was the motherfucking dude, even when the game first came out. So, this just feels like a very appropriate payoff.
Yeah.
It's the fact that, I'm surprised there wasn't more stuff done with the memory counters, but at the same time, I feel as if you got maybe, 5 or 6 pieces, it could probably be a little gross.
A little much, yeah.
Especially in, a vacuum like that. But, again, I mentioned it last episode, but again, we're getting that Chun-Li situation where the effect sticks around, you're allowed to reuse it, it's not that heavy of a reset. Altair doesn't have to be let me grow the Brotherhood again, I guess, and try to do it. No, they're tucked away.
If you kill Altair, you cast him again, you get access to those same things with memory counters on them, which feels like it makes all of your efforts in milling and exiling those guys worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so just what we're looking for.
We finally got a Vein Ripper to stick.
I keep being surprised it's a fucking assassin.
Yeah, I don't know if you heard. Vein Ripper's an assassin.
Someone also was what the fuck, this thing is an assassin?
This is the first time I'm hearing it's an assassin. What?
Yeah.
Vein Ripper's an assassin.
Giant.
So, on an extremely good day, I can cast Ezio on turn 2, deal combat damage with him on turn 3, and
free running for your fucking Vein Ripper. Fuck off.
Jeez.
I haven't done that with Vein Ripper yet, but I did do that with Thraxamundar. That's not a card you're supposed to have out there.
Oh, yeah.
That'll fuck up the game.
It finally happened. Let's go.
Yeah, we got that to happen. This in particular, though, I stuck that Vein Ripper, and we had gamers on the ropes. We were down to the 1v1 against a Frank Horrigan and a Kami of Whisper Hope with like 15 counters
was this
on
me
it.
playing the deck? What the hell?
No, it was actually a different Frank Horrigan deck. We're seeing a couple of those out in the wild.
Pretty good. Pretty awesome.
Yeah.
It was real tight. Could have been anyone's game until I stuck that Vein Ripper, and then no matter if they attacked or not at that point, they like weren't going to be able to kill me because I can block with Vein Ripper, soak up enough damage, and then kill them with Vein Ripper burn.
Yeah.
Or I untap and kill them with combat damage. And it felt really good to just be like, what'll it be, gamer? How do you wish to die?
Okay, quit. You don't have to be a Bond villain. Calm down.
Oh, I do. That's just
Quinn.
I can't help it.
Yeah.
Brotherhood Regalia and Whisper Silk Cloak. The Whisper Silk Cloak is in the secret lair for the Assassin's Creed set, so I printed out a copy of that. It looks really cool and good, a lot better than I was expecting, so I might like buy that single or whatever. And Brotherhood Regalia, giving a thing War 2 has been surprisingly impactful. The
War
Equip 1
War
on a
2?
legendary.
No, I open a foil of that card. I'm fucking excited for it.
And yeah, it looks really good. I'm gonna enjoy playing a lot of that, and it's really clutch because like board states, they be getting a little thick sometimes.
Oh,
so sometimes just
Yeah.
having no blockies and you can just punch through there, and get in for your attack triggers. It's real good. We're fangirl posting about Yggdrasil and the Animus again.
We're
There's
going
a
back.
lot of-
Okay, all right.
Yeah, there's a bunch of like distinct gameplay experiences that I had, and then like I wrote a paragraph about, and then just like all of this is all of that.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's another section here that's me fangirling about Yggdrasil and the Animus after a game because there's sick payoffs for our Surveil card advantage engine. Love that. We have grind potential in a deck that's also just like a low to the ground aggro deck, and we like to see that. Here's where I pat myself on the back for playing a mono black deck, but like, you're cheating on costs so fucking hard
It's
that you
a
don't really
green
get to pat
deck, let's
yourself on the
be
back.
real.
Yeah. Like, here's the thing, right? When a lot of people that I've listened to when they talk about like anything that isn't a monocolor deck, where they're like, play more basics or whatever, right? But I always think about how my biggest personal issue with a 5-color deck, not even getting into like playing 4-color or 3-color, right? But
Yeah.
5-color is like the one color combination I can't ever justify making without some kind of condition. And it's
Yeah.
like 5-color gates, because that's probably going to be the only way that I want to be able to make it on a budget. I'm not going to go out of my way to get a bunch of fish lands or shock lands or triomes. Like, it's way too much effort. I'm the person who owns their Magic cards, doesn't print them off. That's just a personal choice. That's not the point. But like, it's way too much effort. In 4-color, I talked about this in another episode, but I did make an Aragorn deck, the 4-color one, that still kind of fridges on it. Like, it kind of coasts in that territory, but that's the one where I run gates. And that's where I'm like, this seems like a fun, okay, alternate, quote-unquote, win gun of an already very powerful commander that's currently being held back by playing a bunch of charms.
Yeah.
Like, charm spells, right? But this is where I'm like, okay, Ezio does one thing, which is lie, because you also got someone with the ability, with like the 5-color activation ability, but you can just justify being like, I'm going to play 92 swamps and 5 or 6 utility lands, some of which may or may not tap for like other colored mana, and just ship it, you know?
Yeah.
And I think that's...
Yeah, I have 3 command tower pluses. Like
Yeah.
the command tower with set mechanic or whatever. You know the ones
The
I'm talking
Brotherhood,
about.
yeah,
Path of
yeah.
Ancestry, Brotherhood Headquarters,
Path of Ancestry.
and then command tower.
Yeah.
So like
Yeah.
I have those 3 lands, and the rest of my mana base is swamps.
And so, like, this is the one thing where I'm like, I'm okay not only sitting across this 5-color deck, or even think about, like, in my head mentally if I played it, because it doesn't have to be, like, it's not King Kenrith.
Yeah.
We're just like, cool, I can do whatever on my turns, and it's also, I have a super sick mana base or whatever, you know? It's just like, swamps, go. free running Thraxamunder. Well, that's just fucking awesome.
Yeah.
It's gonna suck. It's gonna suck being on the opposite end of that. But in that moment, all right, it's pretty sick. I'll give you that.
It's pretty funny. It's really funny.
Yeah. So, yeah, this is where I feel like this is the let's make this monocolored legend have a 5-color identity, but still niche application. And, like, it's not like you can repeatedly just be like, oh, yeah, I free running times 5 for, I don't know, because they gave it, like, that limit. Like, no. You just like, free running 1. Yeah. Here's a subpar assassin this turn that I couldn't pay otherwise. And then next turn, you're like, yeah, I cast this assassin.
Oh, it's not like a once per turn thing. Like, all of the assassin spells that I cast once I meet the requirement, I can cast them for the free running cost. So it is just like...
Okay, I take it back.
On turn 4, I'm casting 2 assassins for 4 total mana.
I don't know. It feels a little bit different than your Kenriths and your Nagilas, and I can't think of really another one off the top of my head.
Joda.
The band robot.
Yeah,
Bolas.
pick your poison, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, pretty cool.
I did get some actually, like, feedback. Some people took, like, my deck list to stock and played that and were just like, yo, this is sick.
Yeah, no, that's...
I got, like, Thraxamunder out early, and then we had a Cover of Darkness, and I was just like, I was in charge of that game. And I'm like, hell yeah, I'm glad to hear that my deck building works, and it's not just, like, a bit that's only working for me
you,
because of my relationship with the deck. Like, it is actually a viable game plan to just play a mono black Ezio deck and still cast all of your 5-color assassins.
Not like me handing Audric Bloodcurse to someone and then being like, what the fuck is this?
They do not see the light of Avacyn.
Quinn, I have to ask, though, do you play Calidus Assassin?
I do play Calidus Assassin.
Okay, so this is a
what
card
the
from the
fuck is this?
This is a card from the Warhammer decks. It's
Oh, okay, yeah.
It's a 4 blue black for a human sheep.
I know which one you're talking about now. I take it back. Yes. Awesome. Love it.
Yeah.
Had to think about it.
Yeah. For those who don't know what this card does, understandably, it's a clone that's also an assassin. It has flash, and it ETB's tapped, and when it enters the battlefield, it destroys the creature it copied, basically.
Just, hey, Splinter Twin, get out of the fucking way. Or not Splinter Twin, Evil Twin, excuse me.
Yes.
We're just killing it immediately.
I heard you like Evil Twin, but here we've got one with a relevant creature type, and it has instant speed. I heard you gamers liked that.
I'm a big fan.
It's pretty sweet.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm out here casting Calidus Assassin for black.
Sick.
My Warhammer Assassin that I'm casting with the free running ability granted by Ezio from Assassin's Creed 2.
From the other Universes Beyond set.
And I paid for the black mana with an intelligence bobblehead, BT Dubs.
I'll never get over you putting the bobbleheads in there.
They're actually okay.
No. I'm not saying they're bad. I'm not saying that. I just find it funny that you're very much in this like Assassin's Creed UB plus Magic the Gathering stuff, and then you're like, but what if I put in Fallout into this?
This one isn't even based on that. It's literally just I wanted to build this deck without putting any fucking thought into my ramp package.
Yeah, fair enough.
So it was Soul Ring, Arcane Signet, Chromatic Lantern,
7 bobbleheads. Yeah.
Yeah, problem solved. You figured
it
out.
Just like, I will have all of my mana liths, I will be able to cast spells from my hand that aren't free running if I need to. It'll be a little hard, I have to buy this mana, but like, we'll be fine, we can do it, and it works.
I'm looking at all these cards on your list,
through
and I'm like,
10 mana liths yourself. You just like, here's a pre-built package of mana.